اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
یہ تھے بین بادوں کے شام غریباں، یہ تھے بین بادوں کے شام غریباں، کہاں کھو گئے ہو میرے پیار اصغر، کہیں ڈر نہ جانا اس آفت کے بن میں، کہیں ڈر نہ جانا اس آفت کے بن میں، کہاں جا چھپے ہو میرے پیار اصغر، میں کیوں کر تمہیں ڈھونڈوں اندھیاری شب میں، کہاں سو رہے ہو میرے پیار اصغر، یہ تھے بین بادوں کے شام غریباں. سنا ہے کوئی گھرملا تھا ستمگر، چلایا تھا تیر ستم جس نشہ پر، ہمک کر لیا تم نے اپنے گلے پر، بہت خوش ہے اس پر تمہاری یہ مادر، مجھے سرخ رو پیش بنت پیمبر، تم ہی کر گئے ہو میرے پیار اصغر، مجھے سرخ رو پیش بنت پیمبر، تم ہی کر گئے ہو میرے پیار اصغر. گلا تو نہیں ہے تمہیں اپنی ماں سے، تمہیں پانی پینے کو بھیجا تھا میں نے، تم آ بھی گئے تو سنبھالوں گی کیسے، سنا ہے رسل بستہ جانا ہے یہاں سے، نہ مجبور ہوتی تو جانے نہ دیتی، سبھی جانتے ہو میرے پیار اصغر، یہ تھے بین بادوں کے شام غریباں، تمہیں شہ نے پانی پلایا تو ہوگا، تمہیں پاسو اپنے سلائیں گے بابا، تم اب اپنے بابا کے سینے پسونا، نہ اب کوئی ضد اپنے بابا سے کرنا، نہ ہوگا ستم کوئی اس سے زیادہ، جو تم سہ چکے ہو میرے پیار اصغر، یہ تھے بین بانوں کے شام غریباں مجھے شام کوفہ بھی جانا ہے بیٹا اسی کربلا تک تھا ساتھ اپنا بیٹا اسی کو اب اپنا مقدر سمجھنا میرے پاس سوئے گی بالی سکینہ قیامت تلک اب وہیں سوتے رہنا جہاں سو رہے ہو میرے پیارے اصغر یہ تھے بین بانو کے شام غریباں وہیں بن میں آنو محمد بھی ہوں گے یقیناً یتیمان مسلم بھی ہوں گے تمہاری تسلی کو قاسم بھی ہوں گے تمہیں دیں گے عباس و اکبر دلاسے یہاں مرد صرف ایک ہے سجاد مضطر جو تم دیکھتے ہو میرے پیارے اصغر یہ تھے بین بانوں کے شام غریباں جلایا لینوں نے خیموں کو ایسا نہ جھولا تیرا میں بچا پائی بیٹا جلایا لینوں نے خیموں کو ایسا نہ جھولا تیرا میں بچا پائی بیٹا تڑپتی ہے خیمے میں بالی سکینہ وہاں منتظر ہے مدینے میں سغرا تڑپتی ہے خیمے میں بالی سکینہ وہاں منتظر ہے مدینے میں سغرا کسی کی خبر کچھ نہیں تم کو بیٹا کہاں جا بسے ہو میرے پیارے اصغر یہ تھے بین بانوں کے شام غریباں کہاں کھو گئے ہو میرے پیارے اصغر کہیں ڈر نہ جانا اس آفت کے بن میں کہاں جا چھپے ہو میرے پیارے اصغر میں کیوں کر تمہیں ڈھونڈوں اندھیاری شب میں کہاں سو رہے ہو میرے پیارے اصغر
الرحمن الرحیم الحمدللہ رب العالمین والصلاة والسلام علی اشرف الانبیاء والمرسلین سیدنا و مولانا ابی القاسم محمد وعلی آلہ الطیبین الطاہرین المعصومین سیما بقیت اللہ العظم روحی وارواح العالمین لہ الفدا رب اشرح لی صدری ویسر لی امری واحلل عقدۃ من لسانی یفقہوا قولی. Today is Yawm al-Ashura. It's the day of Ashura. And I'm not going to say much. There's nothing that needs to be said. Every mu'min, his heart is shaking to give his sacrifice for Hussein. The whole world is giving its sacrifice for Hussein. Just as a point or an advice on this day that whatever we do, we should be thankful for the gift Allah has given us, that He has attached us to Imam Hussein. And He has put His love in our hearts. When Imam Hussein was born, and his mother Fatima saw that Rasulullah held Imam Hussein in his hand, Rasulullah, after he smiled, he started crying. And Fatima asked him, "Why are you crying for?" He said, "I have been told that Hussein is going to be shaheed, that Hussein is going to be martyred." Fatima asked him, "Will you be there when Hussein is shaheed?" He said, "No, I will not be there." He said, "Will Ali be there when Hussein is shaheed?" He said, "No, Ali will not be there." "Will I be there when Hussein is killed?" And he said, "No, you will not be there." "My father, who will be there when Hussein will be killed?" Rasulullah said, "No one will be there. Everyone will be against him. No one will be there when he's killed." Fatima said, "That who's going to cry for him? Who's going to mourn him?" Rasulullah said, "My daughter, there will be a nation that Allah will create, a people that Allah will create, who will mourn for your child, who will mourn for Hussein." And when Fatima heard that, then, "Father, I will make a promise that I will not enter heaven until all of them enter heaven." This is the promise of Fatima. Today is her son who's going to be ripped apart, who's going to be taken apart. And every demon and villain is going to come and take his strike at Hussein, as Hussein is alone. All the companions have been martyred. All of the Ahlulbayt have been martyred. Everyone is finished now. No one is there. Even Ali Asghar has died. There's no one there to defend Imam Hussein or the haram of Rasulullah. Hussein knows this, and that's why he bids now. He comes to bid farewell to his family. He bids farewell to them and tells them that it is time for me to leave. The ladies make a circle around Hussein. His wives and sisters make a circle around Hussein and said, "Hussein, we gave you everything we have. If there's anything, we would have given it to you, but there's nothing." Hussein comforted them, consoled them. He says, "This is Allah's promise, and this is nothing that can be done." Hussein gave his will to them. He goes there to the other room and tells Zainab to follow him. Zainab goes with him. He tells to Zainab that, "Go and get this old shirt. Give me an old shirt. Itini bi libasin atiq." And she brought him an old shirt and she gave to Hussein. As he was wearing it, she starts crying. And he asked, "Why are you crying?" He said, "This shirt was sewn by our mother. And I remembered that my mother was crying when she sewed the shirt. When she was making the shirt, she was crying." Hussein said, "Zainab, now you're in charge. You're in charge now. Ali ibn Hussein Sajjad is not well. You are going to lead the caravan. Support him." And then Hussein goes out. One last time he gets on his horse and tells his faithful steed
Now, right forward. Today is the last day I'm giving you any burden. I will never give you any more problems after this, my horse. Let's go to the battlefield. But the horse doesn't move. The horse doesn't move. And Hussein says, what's wrong? Are you also going to leave me alone? But the horse can't say anything. He points to his leg, and when Hussein sees that Ruqayya is holding on to the feet of the horse and saying, don't take my father to the battlefield. Hussein gets off the horse. He gets off the horse and comes to his little daughter, holds her in her hand. He says, what's the matter? Father, everyone who has gone to the battlefield hasn't come back. I don't want to lose you. I don't want you to go. Hussein makes a deal with Sukaina and says, Sukaina, Ruqayya, just one thing I will tell you. You know, until now, you used to sleep on my chest, and your brother Asghar used to sleep with your mother. Can we make a deal? From now on, let's exchange this. You sleep with your mother, and let me have Ali Asghar and let him sleep with me. Did you know that Ali Asghar's grave is on the chest of Hussein? Hussein, when he says that, Sakina agrees and she moves away. Hussein gets on the horse and one last time rides to the battlefield. And tells them his last words of hujjat and gives them the proof of Allah. But no one is ready to listen to Hussein. The battle begins, and then Hussein starts to fight. 3 days without water. 3 days without water. Hussein is thirsty. He has told and given that wasiyat to Imam Sajjad, that remember my thirst. Tell my Shias when they drink water to remember how thirsty I was on the day of Ashura. Ajrukum Allah, Ajrukum Allah. Hussein, as he starts fighting, he starts showing his skill, his warrior skill and his courage and his bravery. He starts fighting. No one is able to stand before Hussein. No one is able to do anything to Hussein. He goes through the ranks and killing people one after another. No one can stand in front of Hussein. They are amazed that a person who hasn't drank any water, who's been going through the whole day picking up dead bodies, is able to fight like this. Everyone is running from him from left and right until Umar ibn Saad calls out to his people. He says, you cannot defeat Hussein like this. This is the son of Haidar. This is the son of Ali. You're not going to come close to Hussein. No one can come close to Hussein. He says, make a circle around him, surround him, and then everyone, whatever they have, throw it at Hussein. So now the archers get on one side, the swordsmen get on the other side, the spearmen get on the other side, and those who had nothing, they picked up rocks and stones, and everyone now ambushed Hussein from all sides. So many arrows are embedded in his body. And then now Hussein comes a time when he stops fighting. And then he drops to the ground. When he comes to the ground, he doesn't land on the ground. He lands on the arrows. Hussein now is lying on top of the arrows that are embedded in his flesh. They come and now they want to surround him. Everyone sees him on the floor, but no one wants to come there. There came a time that when Zainab did not hear from Hussein and saw what is happening, so she went out looking for Hussein until she came to Tille Zainabiyya. And when she stood there, she saw Hussein on the ground and men surrounding him, coming close to him. When Hussein saw that Zainab is there, he said, sister, go back to the tent. Don't be here. Go back to the tent. This is it, my friend. Ajarkum Allah. You know, Different swords, different weapons have different ways of doing things. This is the last thing I will say. We are here to do the Masayib of Hussein. May Allah give you ajr. May Allah give you blessings. May Allah give you and your family protection of those who have love for Hussein and cry for Fatima's children. Fatima has promised you Jannat. And inshallah, you will be entering Jannat. With the will of Allah, you will be going there. But my friends here, those people that you are here, and we are remembering Fatima, give some comfort to that mother who's crying with Hussein today. She sits in that battlefield waiting for Hussein to come, and as Hussein comes, it is said that Hussein was with Fatima, and Fatima was crying when Hussein said, "Mother, you're here with me." Different weapons have different reasons, my friends. You know, a spear has a pointed end and a broad base. It is used to pierce the body of a person, of an animal. When you pierce the body of the animal or the person that you want to strike, the most decent way to use a spear is to take it out from the other side. You don't pull it. But the damage that is inflicted on the enemy is not by putting the spear in. It's when you put it in and then pull it out. When you pull it out, it tears the flesh apart. It tears the flesh apart. You know what they were doing when Hussein was on the ground? They were putting spears in there. They were putting spears in there and they're pulling. And as they were pulling, the spear is stuck in the body of Hussein. It will drag Hussein from one side to the other. It will drag Hussein from one side to the other. It is said that when arrows were being shot at Imam Hussein, the soldiers say that we were shooting arrows and there was reward for everyone who shot an arrow at Hussein. A time came when there was no room to hit Hussein in the body, and because all the body was filled with arrows, so what we were doing is we were taking out the old arrows so we can put in new arrows in his body. Hussein is just there, sitting there, taking the abuse, taking the punishment that these people are meeting him out, saying, "Ridhan bi qada'ik wa tasliman li amrik. Ridhan bi qada'ik wa tasliman li amrik." And this is it. The last moments are here now. Now everyone has heard Hussein, injured him. He makes a place for sajda, goes inside there. Ravi, the narrator, said that he went close to Hussein to see what he is saying in sajda. He went close to hear him, and he heard Hussein say, "Ridhan bi qada'ik wa tasliman li amrik." Allah, I have made my promise. I have done what you asked me to do. Now you complete your fault. You fulfill your promise you made to me. And there, Hussein now, at the last minute, he is coming. Last minute, no one wants to do the job. No one wants to end him. No one wants to kill him because they know this is Hussein. No one wants to take the responsibility. People are saying, go and cut him, go and kill him, go and kill him. No one moves forward. At that point, Shimr ibn Zal-Jawshan, Lanatullah alayhi, he said, "If you all can't do it, then I will do it. I will do the deed." And he moved forward. As he moved forward, he was hitting his sword on the ground, striking it on the ground. You know, when you want to do the biha of an animal, you want to make the sword sharper so the sword can go as fast as it can through the neck of the animal. And this person is hitting the sword on the ground. They tell him, "Why are you hitting the sword on the ground?" He says, "I want to tell you, Hussein has no helpers now. Hussein is all alone. I want to take my time killing him so that every one of you knows that Hussein is lonely, that Hussein is gharib, that Hussein has no helpers." He comes forward to Hussein and then starts cutting one by one. This is it. When that happens, the voice comes from the side. قد قتل الحسين في الكربلاء. قد قتل الحسين. قد قتل الحسين. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي هلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. May Allah give you all and increase the love of Fatima and her children in your hearts, and always keep you close to Ahlulbayt and in sync with Ahlulbayt, and make us all earn the reward in the morning of Imam Hussein, and help us to join Imam Zamana, who's waiting to take the revenge for Imam Hussein. Let us all pray for his return. Allahumma kulli waliyyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa ala aba'i fi hadhihi as-sa'a wa fi kulli sa'a waliyan wa hafidha wa qa'idan wa nasira wa dalilan wa aina hatta tuskinahu ardaka taw'a wa tumatti'ahu fiha tawila bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahibin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا خير خلق الله. السلام عليك يا نبي الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب عليه السلام. السلام عليكم أيها الإمام الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. السلام عليك أيها الإمام زين العابدين ومحمد الباقر وجعفر الصادق وموسى الكاظم وعلي الرضا. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك أيها الإمام محمد الجواد. السلام عليك أيها الإمام العلي الهادي. السلام عليك أيها الإمام الحسن العسكري. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان. الأمان الأمان الأمان. العجلة العجلة العجل يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليكم يا جميع أهل بيت النبوة ورحمة الله وبركاته.
بسم الله الرحمن